This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
Oh, hello there, listener. My name's Ron Ecstasy, and you're listening to Blue Men Group. I'm with my co-hosts, John Biedron and Devin Welsh.
Hi, nice to be here.
Yo.
Hi, great to see both of you. Let's jump right into it. We start the show off with compliment section, sponsored by one of our favorite listeners, Robbie Abiobi, down in New
He pays a
Zealand.
lot. He pays a lot to keep this segment on the air.
It does. He does. I can't even get into numbers, and I won't. So actually, we'll get into numbers later. Keep it quick, Robbie says. So, John, my compliment to you, your voice. It sounds incredible. I love it.
Thank
Devin,
you.
I think your the way in which you present yourself is nice.
Nice.
That's my compliment.
Mark, very quick. Ron, very quick. Also, nice two names. Devin, you look very tall today.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, I'm standing up. That makes a big difference.
You're head and shoulders above yourself from last week.
Yeah.
That's great.
To both of you, my compliment is it was nice to see and touch your physical forms when we saw each other in real life, and so that was my compliment for you. Is good for you that you're still a real entity and you haven't gone completely into the computer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Thank you,
likewise. There was a lot of touch. There was more touching than I thought there was going to be, but it was good.
Yeah, and this is all for listeners. We got together in the flesh for the first time since we've started this podcast, and we worked on a special, which you'll be hearing sometime in the next year, I guess. So we're putting a lot of time and crafting this special into something that we want to deliver to you, the listener.
There was an extreme amount of preparation done right before, and,
yes,
leading up to.
Yeah, so we're excited to share that with you, soon. But
I worry that we'll get people's hopes up. I want to intervene here and say we didn't put very much effort at all into this special, but
no,
we'll continue to put more effort into future ones. So keep your hopes low for the first one, and then
and then rocket back up.
Yeah,
your expectations for the second one.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it gives you something to look forward to in terms of the Blue Men Group special in-depth reporting. That you kind of expect from us. Actually, now that we are 24 episodes in, this is our 24th episode, and do you know what? We're just gonna keep on going. So let's hop in as we do to our first segment. This week in history.
1997.
All right.
Former President George H.W. Bush, then age 72, parachutes from a plane over the Arizona desert. Bush skydives again twice over the next few years.
So there we go.
Wait,
that is
twice over the next few years.
I believe he parachuted like right before he died or something like that. For those of you unable to see the screen, which is everyone listening, George H.W. Bush was president of the United States and vice president of the United States, actually, in the 1990s, 80s, and 90s. And he was an avid skydiver because I believe that's what he did in the military. Although, don't get it confused or don't complicate this. He was the son of a senator. So he's not just enlisting and like jumping out of planes. This is a very, very rich man doing this.
Right. They had him do it so that way they could show the cadets what a good boy should look like jumping out of the plane.
Exactly.
Also,
that was his mission.
Also head of the CIA after Watergate.
That is also true.
The first, head of the CIA, the only head of the CIA to become president.
Have either of you ever skydived?
Skydiving? No.
Skydiving? Dovin?
Skydiving Welsh.
Would you ever?
Yeah. I
I don't
know.
really see the need.
Yeah,
There's a good point.
I would try it.
If I needed to get somewhere and skydiving was my only way, probably. But
Yeah.
What
just
I'm
as a
wondering-
lark, I don't know.
What I'm wondering is why this story was even in Today in History.
I agree.
It was a big day in history. It was the anniversary of George H.W. Bush jumping out of a plane one time out of the few times he did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know what else there is to explain.
It is weird
Right.
that he's done it multiple times, but this one is like the one that they wanted to talk about because he did it on his
72nd.
it says his 72nd, but then I have video right here where he did it on his 90th birthday, and you would think that that would be a bit more of a news story. The fact that a
President,
90-year-old
we can't
man
allow you to jump out of a plane at 90.
I feel like this skydiving story is almost like the only thing that can slip past the censors as like some way of mentioning George H.W. Bush, and something that he did happened on this day in history, but that is redacted, and we can't know, what the real
actually
thing
happened.
is. So we
Right.
have a stand-in, which is George H.W. Bush skydives.
Yeah,
It's also an
totally.
incredibly good alibi when some like covert op assassination goes down, and then
Yeah.
it's like, where was George H.W. on this day? And it's like he was in the air. He was just
Yeah,
having fun.
exactly right.
Yeah,
I like
so
to imagine that after he became president, because this is post presidency, that he read that he like ran out of ideas of what to do because he was kind of retired, and so he picked up that book, What Color Is Your Parachute?
And he took it literally.
And he took it literally.
that's so I liked it. I didn't know where that was going, and I was delightful at the end.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the fact that he skydove and skydived at 90 is kind of weird. Like there's a photo of him. If you just look up George H.W. Bush 90 skydiving, it doesn't look like he's that happy about it. He's also
It's very funny. He's sitting in someone's lap.
yeah, well he did like the tandem jump because he's
Yeah.
probably too old to be just jumping on
But
his own.
he's in the air and he's in recliner position. Like his legs are like up and his arms are out like in an armchair.
Yeah. And then when he's on the ground, he's in a wheelchair. So I don't even know if he should have been jumping out of that plane at 90. Everybody is kind of looking on. I see his son, artist George W. Bush, looking at him. It seems as though there's some sort of Secret Service around him, etc. That must be difficult when you're up in the air being a Secret Service guy because you probably have to jump with him. You have to make sure that there's nobody, messing with him up
You
in
have
the
to
air.
jump in front of him in case someone shoots.
Yeah. So, I mean, he would have apparently done it skydive if he was 95, but he,
Yeah, it says that every 5th birthday he celebrates with skydiving,
yeah,
which is
he-
kind of like the Jack LaLanne feats of strength thing.
Yeah, but it's sort of like the Skull and Bones version or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what you do if you have a couple mil laying around.
Everything about this creeps me out. I think we should move on.
it's very creepy.
Yeah.
Very creepy. He's a creepy old man, no longer with us. So, George Herbert Walker Bush,
Skydiving in heaven.
that's all. Yeah. So let's move on to our next segment. What's in the news? All right, everybody. We have some news out of North Dakota, which is in the United States. It's right smack dab in the middle, up near Canada. I guess look for what is it, Alberta or Saskatchewan, then go south, and that's North Dakota. We have an issue, red alert issue. Okay, the popcorn machine at the North Dakota Capitol has been removed after it has twice triggered fire alarms that brought firefighters to the building this week and caused legislators, to evacuate.
Oh no.
So I love popcorn. I love making popcorn. It's like a little treat, little tiny kernels. You put them on that heat and they just get hot and just explode in that little tin metal container thing.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know. We saw what happened on January 6th at the U.S. Federal Capitol in Washington, D.C. It seems as though smaller, I don't want to say skirmishes are happening at other capitals buildings, but this is, I don't know. This seems pretty shocking.
Yeah, this story could possibly be connected to other Capitol building shakeups, but it's hard to say right now because the story is such a breaking story.
Yeah,
we don't have all the details yet.
Yeah, this is a fluid situation.
Yeah, it's funny the way that this story hot off the AP wire actually.
Yeah, red hot,
very hot. Yeah,
the way this
it's about to pop.
Yeah, the way this story is framed is that the popcorn machine was a source of if at times tenuous agreement and harmony in this state capital,
yes.
And that its removal could sort of threaten a breakdown, a new kind of political war.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
House Majority Leader Chet Pollard said the popcorn helped bring together House Republicans, whose caucus had been, quote, a little strained due to the coronavirus pandemic and the House expulsion of former Representative Luke Simons, the Bismarck Tribune reported. Popcorn cheers people up for a reason, Pollard said, and now it's gone, and that's the way it goes.
So true.
Yeah, it is. And
I like that his personal popcorn machine is what was keeping his district together.
Yeah, and it kept everybody happy during COVID, which is nice. I mean, you don't want to pay attention to that big, angry virus that's floating around the air when you can just look at a popcorn machine and hang around the popcorn machine. So
wait, on this story, hold on. I'm sorry. This story is misleading because it's saying that this was like a people together popcorn machine, but it says help bring together the House Republicans caucus.
Only Republicans. I know.
But this is not. This is a partisan popcorn machine.
It's supposed to be. It's
partisan popper.
Yeah. So also there's a photo here of three older looking people standing around the popcorn machine. We have Lawrence Clement, Mary Johnson, and Dennis Johnson all standing around the popcorn machine. I have to say, doesn't look like they're really keeping it in order. So I see a plastic bag on the ground. I see a little kernel of popcorn on the ground, and then numerous brown paper bags surrounding the popcorn machine.
Yeah, they're like
papers on top of it. It just looks like a situation that if I were the building's operation manager or facility management director, whatever it is, I would be concerned, and I would be trying to get that out of the area too.
Yeah, there's a cord that's clearly a tripping hazard.
So we thought initially that this was a metaphor for, all of the little ways in which American politics and American unity is breaking down, right? You remove the popcorn machine, and then, that's one more brick in the wall.
Right.
One more link in the chain.
Absolutely.
But, I think another symbol suggests itself here with respect to, the state of the popcorn machine, and this section of the article actually kind of hints at that. Representative Mary Johnson was on her third batch of popcorn Monday afternoon when the machine triggered the alarms for the second time that day. Johnson said she wasn't aware of a policy that bans popcorn, poppers, toasters, and other food appliances from the building, with the exception of the Capitol Cafe. So it's not even necessarily the existence of the popcorn machine that was an issue. It's maybe how the machine was used, or more appropriately, abused.
It sounds like Mary Johnson was maybe popping too much popcorn in a day.
Well, this is what I was going to mention is the fact that there's the bag on the ground, a few kernels on the ground, there's paper on top of this metal machine. I think it's just people not taking this seriously. Like, again, as you said, like Mary Johnson making 3 rounds of popcorn, like just you're overworking this machine. It doesn't look as though it can take the stress. I mean, obviously the COVID pandemic is stressing everybody out, but
having a popcorn machine is a privilege. And it seems that the Republican caucus of North Dakota's Capitol building was being a little too, they set off the alarm twice. They set it off once, and they thought, I got to have some more popcorn.
Yeah, and it's turned facility management director John Boyle into an enemy, right? Because he has
Right.
to take it away. And he says that the policy was established to prevent the activation of fire alarms. And guess what's happening? Fire alarms.
Yeah, so the people in charge in this country are setting off fire alarms left and right, and this is just one more example.
Yeah.
Yep. And just a point of privilege here I'd like to share. Do not forget to replace your batteries in your fire alarms and CO2 detectors.
Very true.
I hate to be on a Zoom call and hear that beeping in the background.
Oh my God, I know.
I've see it in YouTube videos. And if you see it in a YouTube video, comment, say, don't forget to replace your battery, because I just think some people forget, but it seems as though
comment and timestamp too in the video where it is, so people can avoid that part.
That's true.
It's very
So
helpful.
it seems as though the North Dakota Capitol Building Facility Management Director John Boyle is on that, and they have fresh batteries alerting them to any sort of fires. But please, House Republicans of North Dakota State Capitol, please be aware of this. You're setting off the alarms, and you're putting a strain on public resources. So let's move along. We'll be keeping an eye on North Dakota, as we always do. Hey Dev, I see this this next article we have here kind of fits right into your avenue, the groove that you're in, and that is physical fitness. Let me say, Devin Welsh is a physically fit man.
He's a fine specimen of self-motivated fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, I'm on the physical fitness beat here at Blue Man Group, and yeah, this is an interesting story. I think we'll find many metaphors here. Army revamps fitness exam, kicks out leg tuck requirement. I love the title there, kicks out leg tuck
nice.
requirement. The Army is kicking out the leg tuck requirement. It ended its requirement that soldiers do at least one leg tuck, where you hang from a bar and then you pull your knees up near your shoulders as part of the new physical fitness test, as it became clear that many troops, and the article says particularly women, were unable to do it. Now soldiers will have the option of choosing another exercise called the plank that also shows core strength.
Wow.
So they're changing their policy because soldiers are increasingly unable to do a single leg tuck. And then, well, the first thing that I thought was funny was that throughout the article, it hints at kind of blaming female soldiers for
yeah, it's really
exactly.
seems to hinge
but
on
like,
that.
I really don't. That doesn't make sense to me. And,
No.
I kind of feel
100%.
like it's probably because the male recruits are just like more flabby and weak. And
Yeah,
so they can't
absolutely.
do it.
100%.
100%. And then like whoever wrote the article was like another fella, and he wanted
Yeah.
to go easy on the boys.
I do know who wrote the article. The Lolita C. Baldor wrote the
That's
article.
a fake name.
That does seem
That's
like
a man. That's
that
a
does
man,
seem
baby.
like a name for a press
pseudonym.
release. Somebody who writes press releases for the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does seem. It says in a sweeping nod to gender differences. Army leaders said Monday that they're also going to create a new tiered system that will mask some of the fitness score differences between men and women when it comes to promotions or other job selections. Under that system, all soldiers will take the fitness test, which includes 6 different exercise events. The minimum score for passing is 60 points on each event for a total of 360. And the maximum is 100 points for each event for a total of 600.
Right. So yeah, so they're separating scores up so that men and women are on a separate scoring system, so they're not all ranked together. But I honestly wonder how much this is being done to protect the male scores.
Yeah. Again, that does seem to be what's potentially going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, sometimes if you went to school, high school in the United States, the U.S. military would come into your high school and set up that bar and would ask you if you wanted to do pull-ups or whatever to pretend that you're in the military. I never did it. I was not a pull-up guy.
And now you're not even able to do even one leg tuck.
That's right. Now, I think we should, as Blue Men Group, do the fitness exam, the military fitness exam, and see if we pass.
I was going to suggest the same, but we should also create the Blue Men Group physical fitness challenge that you do alongside the president's physical fitness challenge. It's great in grade school.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah, we should come up with our own really taxing kind of physical fitness routine
as a way to sort of like supercharge the troops and get rid of some of that flab.
Yeah. So this military guy named Hibbard, Major General Lonnie Hibbard, says the leg tuck was the #1 failed event for both men and women, as well for older soldiers. So he goes on to say, as you look at those service members who have been in the Army, especially 15, 20 years, and have never been asked to build the upper body strength necessary to do a pull-up or do a leg tuck, it gets significantly harder as they get older to build that strength.
So they're also very old now.
Yeah.
All of our soldiers are like 45 and like, they're hanging around the base. They're eating a lot of popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. It seems this just kind of is a indicator to me that our military is changing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if they're having to kind of make all of the stuff easier, that's probably the case. Well, and they're probably cranking up the kind of like tech literacy requirements as well.
I was just going to say, it's like you don't really need to do a leg tuck if you're just piloting a remote control airplane.
Just get your avatar to do a leg tuck for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you should be working on like your
thumb
finger
dexterity.
clicking skills. Yeah, exactly. Thumb dexterity. More so like video game workouts.
They've got like 2 hours of Mario Party at like 5 a.m.
Exactly. Yeah,
the taps
to get you
song
going.
goes off, and then they all rush into like in front of the Wii console.
Yeah. So I'm keeping an eye on the military fitness exams. Again, I said we will be probably trying to do our own here. The Army Center for Initial Military Training, Commander Hibbard, maybe we can speak with him about what we should be doing as listeners.
I'm also concerned because I'm starting to pick up on the fact that Lonnie Hibbard is an anagram for Lolita C. Brador.
Yeah, right. The whole thing is just filled with fake names. But it says at the end, it says at the end that, COVID-19, all the gyms have been closed. It's been harder for the troops to stay fit. And it's just like, I don't know. But at the same time,
it doesn't seem...
Yeah, I worry that, you drop the leg tuck and then it's kind of a slippery slope. It's like,
absolutely.
Exactly.
And then it's like, doing a push-up is optional. And then, where are we?
Jumping jacks are, you don't have to do them every time.
Yeah, what happened to these kinds of, athletic feats of strength that would prevent like trench toe and that kind of stuff? We're in a different world now, I guess. But
back in the day, you'd have to like sleep while doing the splits with each of your legs up on one wall of the trench, so that you didn't have to actually touch the bottom.
Yeah, men would have to like in the field sleep while holding up their commanding officer out of the muck.
Yeah, men had thighs like barrels back in those days.
I like to imagine that General Lonnie Hibbard had like wanted to write an article that was like headlined like "Military full of Nancys and women." Tone it down. But he's like trying to like drop a lot of hints here.
Yeah, I'm currently looking at a photo of Major General Lonnie Hibbard.
That guy can do a leg tuck.
What can I say? He looks like a guy in the military. That's essentially all I see. But yeah, he's the one in charge of all this. And by the way, I said trench toe, it's trench foot. Let us not mix up our World War I leg sicknesses.
Leg sickness.
But with that said, I would like to do one sit up.
Excellent form. Nice.
There we go. Thank you. And move on to the next story. Now, this next story takes place on America's highways. This is a very America-centric show today. We're really, showing off the cool and not so cool aspects of this here country. But John, I would like you to take this one.
I think that this is a great one to focus on, especially, the last few episodes ago when we had the revelation that we were, a trucker-centric podcast.
Yes.
That we were pro-truckers.
Yes.
And we wanted to find an article that spoke to our favorite segment of the American population.
Truckers.
The U.S. trucking industry and truckers.
Yeah.
And this headline comes from thetrucker.com.
Yep.
An August institution of trucker news.
That's my
And this is a breaking news story with a lot going on in it. U.S. trucking industry answered the call in 2020. Says ATA, the American Trucking Association's spear, which is, I guess, a guy.
Now, this is not about a phone that has been ringing all year at their office and somebody picked it up.
Yeah, they were out for
not.
a while driving, and they missed a couple calls.
Yeah.
But actually, they didn't miss any calls because they were the ones who picked up the slack in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And American truckers the story is basically that it's basically a fluff piece. It's kind of a propaganda piece for truckers.
Hey,
our combined efforts have helped put America on a path to full recovery is sort of the pull here.
Propaganda is not always a bad thing, John.
Very true.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because we love our friends out on the highway, putting in those long hours, stopping in at random truck stops to take showers, eating
big
the
stacks
hot
of
dogs.
pancakes in my mind. That's what truckers eat.
Yeah, or the hot dogs that are on the little rotisserie sweating thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Spear said the challenges of 2020 have served to strengthen the ATA, calling the association battle hardened as it looks to tackle a number of priority issues in the year ahead. So it seems kind of like that while the American military has become flabbier and weaker and doughier, American truckers have become "quote unquote" battle hardened.
Yeah.
And are stepping up in the department of like rigorousness and acumen in a way that the military just can't.
It's true.
Truckers these days are leg tucking morning, noon, and night. Like these guys are made of steel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So on October 26th, as we said, the State of the Industry address at the American Trucking Association's management conference.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to have been there, and I it's probably happened over Zoom or whatever due to COVID-19. But I would have loved to have had my ear to the ground while Chris Spears was telling us all about the trucking industry. Because do you know what? I'm trying to get as much information as I can on the trucking industry because they are going up and down and crissing and crossing all sorts of highways. And I think about it. Think about everything that's in the back of those trucks. You don't even see it, but it's showing up wherever you need it. The store, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm talking about the store.
And you know what? This is the year the ATA has a firm resolve that this is the year that people stop writing "wash me" on the sides of trailer hitches because they're just not going to take it anymore.
Come on. We're
People
trying
are
to
heroes.
save water.
And they are battle hardened, so do not attempt to write snide messages on the back of truck trailers.
The only message you can write on the back of a trailer, do not write "wash me." That's played out. Is
just write "thank you."
Blue Men Group. Listen to Blue Men Group podcast is all you're allowed to write on trucks.
All right. Yeah. You need to spread the word because these are the people that we're trying to get in touch with. So if you know any. Or if you see any trucks, stop them, talk to them.
Yeah. The American Trucking Association really kind of lashed out at DC, and I mean you may as well, right? Beltway insiders trying to slow you down while you're trying to transport your stuff. Spear said, while others in DC panicked, I'm sure they're talking about like COVID-19 stuff. The ATA led the giving direction and certainty to our members when it mattered most. John already read that? Was that already read?
No, not at all.
No.
Okay, sorry, but I think that's a great point. I think Chris Spear. We should get Chris Spear on the show. How do I get Chris Spear on the show?
We might need to build our way up because he's kind of a big fish in the trucking world.
Yeah, he is a big fish.
True. We need to start small. We need to, pay our dues before.
Yeah, we need to pay our dues for sure.
He's a 18-wheeler, and we need to be focusing on like box trucks, like the U-Haul style. Like
we'll get there. He'll get on the show eventually, but for now, we're going to be talking to like the local delivery guys.
Yeah.
The article ends with Chris Spears saying, "It is no surprise that America has awakened to the trucking industry. Together, we inspire others. Together, we will win and grow. And we'll always answer the call when our country needs us most.
That's
Trucking
so nice.
isn't just the backbone of our economy. It's the heartbeat of this nation."
Whoa.
So, dear listener, when you see those, those 18-wheelers going down the road, don't do the horn up and down.
No?
Signal with your hand. No. Don't go up and down with your fists in the air, asking them to honk for your enjoyment. Why don't you salute?
Yeah.
Do a little salute action. To all of our
Yeah. Why
truckers
don't you
out there
give
on
a
the
little
roads.
something back?
Yeah, they're doing all this stuff for you.
Yeah, they're driving 10 hours a day on, the most boring roads, you could have ever imagined.
It's really bleak in America. For our non-American listeners, people who have never driven on the U.S. interstate highway system, it is very dull.
Yeah, there's not much really. There's a lot of billboards for kind of churches and stuff. They tell you Jesus is coming back, and there's a lot of adult superstore type situations.
Yeah. And there's like McDonald's micro region targeted ads.
Yeah, there's a lot of Shoney's, just like restaurants everywhere, or Starbucks. Starbucks is all over this country. This teaming with Starbucks.
Yeah, and people out there who are listening who love their Wi-Fi networks, they love their internet, where you can surf the net, you can go from one website to another. Well, there's a whole system, that supports you being able to do that. And truckers are kind of like they're riding the IRL versions of these internet networks. They are they are your data, but brought to life. And so, you have no choice but to respect, I think.
And Devin, you're so metaphorical today.
That's great. I love it. Yeah. Devin is painting us pictures. And think about that. That's
Devin is
really
doing
nice
leg tucks and metaphors and all this whole entire episode.
Yeah, it's a nice way to think about it though, because these trucks are the data on the network of highways hitting those nodes. The cities are the nodes. That's where they're coming in, bringing in their whatever it may be.
Their hauls are data packets.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And we have to recognize that. We need to understand what that means. If you have any questions, please send us a letter to Blue Men Group, P.O. Box 21249, Detroit, Michigan 48221. Now, I have a little update that I would like to tune us into. You may remember a few episodes back. I believe it was 2 episodes. If you haven't listened to that one, go back. We're always going to be here. Okay. We have been raising money for beer can cleanup. I read a letter to the editor from the Whitby News Times, which is a small local media outlet in Whidbey Island, which is in the Puget Sound of Washington State. And there is an issue happening at the Ebey's Landing National Historical Site of people just leaving, unknown people, we don't know who it is, leaving beer cans everywhere. And we wanted to step in as lovers of beer and nature. And we have been raising money, $65 goal, to send them a recycling bin. And we are at $60. We are so close.
Can we do an update? Can we get a drum roll? And can you refresh? Let's just check that real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get a drum roll here and let's update let's refresh the page and see what we can see. Maybe we'll have hit the Oh, no, we're still at 60.
Well,
okay, but anyway, we'll be getting there momentarily, folks.
Yeah.
It's something is
something's Pending.
But as of live on the show, we have hit the goal. We know
we've done it.
We did it.
65.
Nice.
And so what does that mean, Ron? What happens next?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. So I am going to reach out to the Whidbey Times, okay? And I'm going to speak to the editor, and I am going to ask if we can send this brute Rubbermaid recycling bin and lid to their office. So Louis Ferrer, who is the person picking up the cans and garbage, can get this recycling bin to place there over at Ebey's Landing. And then hopefully we'll have some pictures and we can see if it's actually doing the work. If it, you know, people are putting cans in it.
Yeah. And, you know, special thanks to all of our supporters on this campaign. We would also like to especially highlight donor Robert Steelquist, who is given an outstanding $20 towards the goal. We will be having Robert Steelquist on the show to discuss his philanthropy and his other efforts in cleaning up this country.
That is correct, John. But just an addendum, I still haven't asked him, so
that's fine.
But okay. He will be on the show. But
he's interested. We will be speaking with him.
Yes, he is an outstanding donor. He again, the largest sum came from Robert Steelquist, who does care about cleaning up the area. Probably likes beer too. So that's pretty fascinating. We did it, everyone. We managed to raise $65. Now, some of you may be asking, like, how much of this is going into your pockets? What is this, a $3 recycling bin, et cetera, et cetera? No, there's only $3 left over. And what am I going to use those $3 left over for? Like handling. That's like the shipping and handling.
The handling is really an overlooked part of the shipping and handling.
It is. It is. And John, you just ask all those truckers, okay? They are doing the handling and the shipping.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely incredible. I will say that is my first ever successful GoFundMe. By the way, my first ever GoFundMe. So I'm 1 for 1. We are 1 for 1. Keep on saying that
handling fee is burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, I know. $3. It's nuts, but I can't believe it. I would like. I guess. Do I hear people saying speech? Should I give a speech?
Yeah.
I hear a low rumbling across this great nation.
I was thinking we say the names of everyone who donated.
I would.
We can make that a ritual for future GoFundMes, which we will be doing because we plan on not only helping out Whidbey Island, but everywhere else in America.
Eventually, the world. I think.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, this is international, of course, not America. Everywhere, anywhere.
So, but not only just a specific place around the world, the entire world. We will be helping,
right?
We'll through GoFundMe.
Yeah.
We're raising $19 billion on GoFundMe to help out some projects in the world. It's an infrastructure project. We'll tell you more later. Okay, so I would like to mention some of our beautiful and donors. Let's start out with John V. John V donated $10. I do know that John V is familiar with Whidbey Island. I received a message from John V, and he mentioned he's been there.
And thank you, John V, for being bold enough to be our first donor.
Yes. Campaign. Now, friend of the show, Enrique, donated $5. Thank you so much, Enrique. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Also from Washington State, or living there, is Nicholas Bigelow. Friend of the show. Also a bit of an enemy of the show, too. Also, a $5 donation from Kelly Locks. Kelly, thank you so much. Kelly's a great needlepoint artist. Also a friend of the show, donated $5. Again, our premium donor, kind of the top tier. It's like a corporate donation almost.
It's at the top of the donation placard. It's gonna, there's tiers of donation. There's there's bronze, silver, gold. He's on the gold. He's the only one in the gold tier.
Yeah, Robert Steelquist. Robert, thank you so much. I will be reaching out to you soon. I would love to hear more about your experiences in the area and your philanthropy, as John mentioned.
The Steelquist story, if you will.
Yeah, the Steelquist. Yeah. So also Andy, thank you so much for donating $5. Andy is also a friend of the show. We have many. I mean, this is how we do it, right? This is grassroots funding to literally help save the grass on Whidbey Island. Thank you so much, Andy. And lastly, we have Catherine Dean. Kath is one of our friends here on the show, and always putting in some time to help out. That's one of Kath's favorite things to do.
Okay.
And I believe that maybe there was one more anonymous. Yeah, we had an anonymous donor.
Oh, someone who doesn't like the limelight.
That's
wow.
That's nice. That's probably like Jeff Bezos or something.
Yeah, whoever you are, we salute you. We thank you so much for being the final donor that put us over the top. And you're just so virtuous, not wanting your name to be out there. I mean,
this is what they want. This is exactly what an anonymous donor always is looking for, is that praise. They're so generous, they don't even want their name associated with it. Frankly, it makes me sick.
Only they know that they donated, and it must feel great for them to know that they donated.
To be so much better than the other donors.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, thank you very much, Whidbey Island. You'll be receiving that blue container, and we're expecting updates soon. All right, let's move on to one of our favorite segments, Hero of the Week. All right, so our hero this week is a criminal, and they were recently arrested, hot off the AP wire. The AP wire is just oozing into my IV drip, and I am reading it all, taking it in my brain, and this one set off my alarms. Headline: Man arrested after taking daughter into zoo elephant habitat.
Now, I don't believe there's a law on the books that says you can't enter the zoo elephant habitat.
Let me check the books. Nope, you're right. No law.
But there is a law called suspicion of child endangerment, which is what the father has been arrested on after he carried his 2-year-old daughter into the elephant habitat at the San Diego Zoo to take a photograph with the animals. The man bypassed multiple barriers and, quote, purposely and illegally trespassed into a habitat for Asian and African elephants Friday afternoon, zoo spokesman Andrew James said.
So San Diego Zoo, very famous zoo, if not the most famous zoo in America. I have to imagine that these are very well, kept living quarters. And I can understand why our friend here wanted to go in with the 2-year-old. The 2-year-old probably said, like, can we go in there? And you don't want to say no, right? And there are multiple barriers, but those aren't necessarily to stop you from taking your 2-year-old in. Those are presumably there for other animals. So I think you should just be able to walk wherever you want in the zoo. Call me a zoo libertarian, but I think it should just be freewheeling at the zoo.
Yeah, that could get dangerous. But one sort of universal element of this story that I found funny was witness Lori Ortal told KSWB-TV she heard a woman yelling, "Jose, stop!" before a man jumped the fence and through the elephant enclosure.
Yeah, exactly. These guys right away were saying that elephant is going to charge.
And then it did.
Yeah, I'm walking back my whole libertarian ideas of the zoo now.
Yeah. A video provided shows a man dropped the child as they flee the enclosure as a trumpeting elephant charged at them. The man picked up the toddler and was able to get her out safely.
This sounds like identical to a Simpsons episode plot.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
It's like literally Homer. It embodies Homer Simpson in so many subtle aspects of Homer Simpson's character.
Absolutely.
The fact that he did it, and maybe he did it because his kid wanted to do it, and he thought it would be fun. It's like, oh, let's go, and then they jump in. he drops the kid when the animal charges. Marge is over there before he even tries, telling him, no, don't do it.
Yep.
And then the most Simpsons-y thing of all, it's like the baby's fine, no one gets hurt.
Yeah, that's
it's just
true.
it's just a goof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there is video on 7 San Diego, and that's the NBC affiliate. Just want to mention we are not affiliated with the NBC affiliate in San Diego, but I would like to hear how they reported on the situation. Let's take a listen.
All right, we'll take a look at this new video that we received overnight of a terrifying moment for visitors at the San Diego Zoo. We're hearing from people who watched in disbelief. You can hear it too, as a man carried his 2-year-old child into a gated-off elephant habitat. NBC7's Lauren Coronado spoke to one witness who walked us through that incident.
I was literally speechless. I was, it was one of those moments where you try to talk and you're going to probably tear up because, the adrenaline's going so much.
Matthew Pasili and his family are annual pass holders at the San Diego Zoo. They visit often, but this time was unlike any other.
I'd say it took my wife and I a good, half hour where we were finally able to kind of get our composure and just, digest what happened.
Wow.
I like that they always have in these news stories somebody who witnessed it and they have nothing to say about the event at all.
Yeah. I was speechless, really. It was shocking, really.
And then it's cut.
Tell me more. Yeah. So the video actually is pretty nuts. The guy's just kind of standing there and like with his back to an elephant, which listen, you don't do that. I've read a few books. You don't, not even having to do with elephants, but I know that you just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the elephant does make quite a charge.
It looks like the elephant is the one who's enforcing the no trespassing rule.
Yeah.
Like it sort of gets
so.
really close and stampedes, but then it stops short and just sort of faints a bit.
Yeah.
As if to sort of say
it's the elephant's rule. It's actually not
right. Exactly.
Rule.
Yeah,
that's why it's not illegal, but the child endangerment was.
The San Diego Zoo has deputized a few of the elephants there, and that was one of them who came to the rescue.
The Asian elephant too, man. You don't want to mess with it. There's an old story from the 19th century of an Asian elephant that killed a circus keeper on his second day of work in Tennessee, and then they hanged the elephant.
Oh,
come on!
Which is crazy.
Wow. Incredible way to end that segment. But
that's why the rule exists. So you don't want to, get too close to these things. They're big, powerful beasts. They're sort of like the truckers of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there we go. And the elephants never forget anything. Apparently, the mind of an elephant.
Yeah, that's another scary thing, and another reason why you don't want to get near them.
Yeah,
is that they have a very sharp memory. If you do anything wrong, they'll never forget it, and they'll never forgive you either.
They'll never forgive you. So famously, good memory and also completely unsympathetic.
Yeah, exactly. And 36 years down the line, that elephant's gonna be like, "Do you want to hear the story? Let me tell you this. Sit down."
Yeah.
Be like, there's a 2-year-old that came into my thing with her dad, blah, blah, blah.
It was a Sunday afternoon. The temperature was 76 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a San Diego day. It's just like the elephant's Rain Man.
Yeah,
the barometric pressure.
San Diego Padres cap.
Yeah.
There was a small stain on the brim.
Yeah, exactly. Barry Bonds' batting average was 365 in the 2008 World Series. Yeah, so that's just more elephant facts about San Diego things.
That's the other reason that they don't want you in the elephant pen is because you won't be able to leave as it starts to begin to tell you stories from its life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Never ending.
I would
it gets in the way of zoo operations.
I would love to get a parrot, a tortoise, and an elephant in the same room and just let them talk it out about the old days because they're all incredibly. They just live forever. One of them can talk. The other is plays the trumpet, and one is just really, really old. So this is zoos, who knows what's going on at the zoo, but San Diego, I know San Diego Zoo, that one's apparently good, I guess. And it is hot there. It's the most sunshine in all of America. The sunniest days happen in San Diego. So I just have questions for Jose Manuel Navarrete. All I can say is we got to be careful, Jose. Like, you can't be going in there. Jose, stop.
Jose, stop.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye on other elephants. Elephants are something that I'm not going to forget. And we'll be, maybe looking for more elephant stories in the future.
Yeah. And congratulations to our hero, Jose, for his Homer Simpson-esque dumb luck that keeps him from getting hurt.
Exactly. That almost turned into a Harambe situation. All right, everybody. As we wrap up the show this week, we always finish up with one of our favorite and newest segments, This Week in Numbers. So as we log on to the dashboard to take a look at our numbers.
Yeah, what are we looking at today, Ron? What are the numbers?
Listen, it looks good. I'm happy over here, okay? Do you know why? Because we are up over the past 14 days, 9%. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And now listen, we don't talk about yesterday's downloads.
Nope.
I don't know if we talk about 7-day downloads.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Okay.
Those are the ones that count.
Last
week. 7 days, 160 listens.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
That's
wow.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't our
climbing.
goal just 86 or something?
No, that's, something like that.
All 160 of you out there, we salute you. Thank you
We
so much.
salute you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Our listeners are kind of the truckers of the podcast.
Yes. The
Absolutely.
listeners are the truckers. Yes.
This is a trucker podcast, not only in the literal sense, but also in the sense that, we are the truckers of the podcasting community. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And our listeners are as brave and as heroic as truckers.
That's great. I love that.
Just by
you guys
association.
That's so good. All right. So in the last 30 days, 628 downloads. Now,
Fantastic.
all-time downloads. This is spectacular. Do you know why this is spectacular? Because it's a nice round number.
Oh, yeah.
All-time downloads, 2,000.
Oh.
So I believe that last week where we wanted to get 1776, or was that 2 weeks ago?
That was like 5 weeks ago.
Doesn't matter at all. We are at 2,000 all-time downloads, and boy, am I sitting pretty on this.
I'm jazzed, yeah. You
Yeah.
can't beat it.
So we're doing good, folks. Thank you so much for continuing to listen to the show.
Yeah.
And continuing to make the numbers go up. Which
Yeah,
is an important thing.
Yeah, everything. Look at this. We have a successful GoFundMe. We are, boosting our numbers left and right. We are making inroads, no pun intended, with truck drivers. And it just seems like there's nowhere but up for this here podcast.
It's great news for us as podcasters, but it's even better news for the listener because it means they're doing their job. They're getting these podcasts out in front of the other people. They're downloading them, they're subscribing, they're playing them into an empty room if need be.
Yep. Or on mute. You can play the full episode and have it on mute. It's okay.
Yeah, run it on mute all night, folks. Okay?
All night. Just on repeat. It would be great if you did that. But listen, I am very thankful. We are very thankful for everything that you have been doing with your ears towards us by listening. Sharing with your fingers, your thumbs, everything else through your digital devices. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.